on Facebook Live, coming to you from Meadow Mill and sponsored by University of Maryland, Baltimore. I'm Amanda. This is Simone. Tell us about your plans in the comments field below. Simone, it's Artscape Weekend!
That's right. America's biggest free arts festival is happening right now and all weekend. The festival, which is notoriously held on the hottest weekend of the year, no disappointments this year, features fine artists, fashion designers, craftspeople, art cars, live concerts, performing arts, street theater, film screenings, and of course, lots of food. So if you can handle the heat, you might be able to see main stage highlights such as Prince collaborator Sheila E.
Yay!
Tonight at 7:30, gypsy punk band Gogol Bordello tomorrow night
Always
at 7:30, and Robert Randolph and the Family Band Sunday at 6:30. Other highlights include an artist-run art fair, several comedy acts, including a comedy show at Riley's Oyster, a mini golf course in Station North, readings and discussions at Red Emma's, wet, hot American summer at the Parkway, and tattoo art at Red Thorn. So get down to Mount Royal, Bolton Hill, and Station North to experience some of the best your city has to offer.
So much to do. Take the light rail.
Do yourself a favor.
I have to be on the other side of downtown at some point tonight, and I'm not quite sure how I might go about doing that, but yeah, we'll figure it out. All right, well, what else? Besides, if you're not going to go to Artscape, what else can you do this weekend?
Well, you can get far away from it by going to Meriwether Post Pavilion. If you prefer, you could head out to Columbia for this live, for Hans Zimmer, who's performing at Meriwether. He has composed more than 150 films, including The Lion King, Gladiator, and The Dark Knight.
That's kind of cool. I don't think the opportunity comes up to see him much because he's a composer and doesn't often perform his music.
Right, and as just to remind you, in JMOR this month, we do have an article about Columbia's 50th, and online we have staff memories of Meriwether, so you may want to check that out.
Yep, super fun.
Yeah. Also going on is Anne Hornaday at the Ivy. The Washington Post film critic and former Baltimore Sun critic talks about her new book, Talking Pictures, How to Watch Movies. Hornaday will explain how to tell if a film is well written, what constitutes a great performance, and what a director really does. Finally, everybody really is a critic.
Everybody really is a critic. I think I'm a critic.
She's very critical.
I can
very
attest
critical.
To that. I like to be a critic, and because of that,
she's very judgmental.
I critique. I don't judge. Speaking of critiquing things, I, for personal reasons that we don't need to go into, have spent a lot of time lately watching some Netflix.
She's been playing hooky from work.
Right, just watching Netflix. That's all I've been doing recently. So I'm going to share a couple of my reviews because we're all critics.
Please do.
Okay, so last week you guys talked about Friends from College.
We did.
I watched all of it. It is definitely entertaining. The performers are very charismatic. I love how Fred Savage has grown up. He was
always a cutie.
He's kind of adorable. He used to have a huge head. Now I think he's grown into that head. But he's very adorable. He's charismatic. Kobe Smulders is gorgeous and just easy to look at. Keegan-Michael Key, who is half of Key and Peele, who's hilarious. He's in it, and he kind of makes the show. So it's good. It's a little navel-gazing. It's a little bit like, us Gen Xers. And there's a storyline about infidelity, which I never enjoy watching. I have a hard time watching infidelity storylines. So that's in there. But it's totally worth watching. I mean, I watched it straight through, and now I'm done, and now I have to find something else to watch.
What else did you watch while you weren't at work, Amanda?
Also, while I wasn't at work, I watched all of HBO's The Defiant Ones, which is the documentary that they just came out with about Jimmy Iovine and Dr. Dre and their relationship and partnership that's gone on for like 30 or something years. It's very interesting. I learned a ton. The documentary footage of concert performances was great. The news clips from the 90s about the whole East Coast, West Coast rap battle, rap wars was really interesting. They included three of my favorite geniuses as interviews. So Bruce Springsteen, Trent Reznor, and Eminem were all in there talking. So it was great. It's totally great. The only issue I had was by the fourth episode, it starts to feel a little bit like promotional or commercial for Beats by Dr. Dre. it sort of seems like that's the whole reason for the project. Like, hey, let's talk about how these beats came to be, the headphones. So maybe just watch the first 3. I don't know. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. Or more than 2
I'm
cents.
glad you were able to use some of the things you learned while you weren't at work while you're at work.
Related.
Yeah.
It's like charging the company for this time. It's like that.
Yeah, I see.
So if you just got here, this is Jay Moore's Weekend Agenda on Facebook Live, sponsored by University of Maryland, Baltimore. Be sure to comment below, share, like, and follow at hashtag JayMooreWeekend. What's going on Saturday?
Yeah, dude, is at the 9:30 Club. The comedy podcast hosted by Seth Romatelli and Jonathan Larroquette has a huge cult following, and it's one of the top comedy shows on iTunes. It's been around for about 11 years already. These two bring their pure, unadulterated, sexy talk about news, current events, and American culture to DC for this seated show.
This sounds like fun. I think it's kind of
Definitely.
funny that there's a whole new trend to go watch podcasts live.
Yeah,
like, that's
I know.
a whole new event now.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
I guess people
like
are
it.
curious about,
Who
what
the-
people look like
yeah.
and all of that stuff. Yeah, it's always surprising to find out like what your favorite radio personalities look like.
Sometimes it's pretty
And
disappointing.
sometimes, yeah.
At least they can see us. They know what we look like.
Yeah,
We're
the
not
girls
hiding
and girls.
anything. All right.
That's right.
What else?
Okay, on Saturday and Sunday, all our listeners. Also far from the madding crowd. I really like that literary allusion from Amanda.
English major, can't help
Yeah,
it.
me too. I did my thesis on Thomas Hardy. Anyway, the Powwow and Show at the Howard County Fairgrounds sounds cool. That event has Aztec dancers, Native American performances, craft demonstrations, and storytelling. There'll also be some Native American foods available.
So I actually haven't been to the powwow at Howard County, but I am always a big fan of like drum circles or sweats or anything that they may be doing there. I did grow up in Utah, which does have some Native Americans still.
So weird.
But I like anytime anyone is offering a Navajo taco, which I don't know that they are, but if they are, I will go ballistic and far and wide for a Navajo taco because it's like one thing that I really miss that I can't get them here.
Just really quickly, what
Yes.
is that? Because I don't know.
Okay, so it's fry bread, not fried, fry bread, which is like a puffy bread. You can have it sweet too with like honey and sugar on it. And then, so it's open face. It's just one flat, big fry bread. And then it's got all the taco stuff on top.
wow.
The Native American Indian Museum in DC, they have an amazing cafeteria
Oh,
and
and
they
they have
actually
them?
have Navajo tacos.
That's a good reason.
So
to go.
anyway,
All
I
right.
digress a lot.
Yeah, I see why I
but,
did that.
we will be wrapping up this week's weekend agenda in a couple minutes. But first, what's happening in Baltimore on Sunday, Simone?
Well, speaking of delicious food, it's the 4th anniversary party at the Charmery in Hamden on Sunday. Everybody's favorite quirky ice cream shop celebrates 4 years in business with some of their special signature flavors. There'll also be trivia, prizes, and more. The shop is known for flavors like Maryland Mud, Old Bay Caramel, and Otterbein Sugar Cookies. They've also had some really cool Jewish holiday flavors. I can't think of any off the top of my head.
I think there was
but
something for Rosh Hashanah,
Yeah.
maybe some honey, apple, something.
yeah. Also, yeah, maybe Sukkot, Hanukkah. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
But anyway, they always come up with some great ideas.
What's your favorite ice cream?
My favorite ice cream is actually, I know it's kind of strange, but key lime pie flavor. And my favorite place to get that ice cream, I don't think they have it at the Charmery, but if you're listening, Charmery people, you,
You should
could
maybe
add that.
have some of that.
Is Taharka's right by Whole Foods in Mount Washington.
Right.
I just absolutely love that ice cream. I like dream about it. It has like graham crackers
Right, that makes
smushed
sense.
in it.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
I
it's just
haven't had
perfect tart and sweet mixed together.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
All right.
What else is happening on Sunday?
Well, this is kind of heartbreaking because I don't have tickets to Tom Petty at the Heartbreakers at Royal Farms Arena. Let's get to the point. Tom Petty knows how it feels to celebrate his band's 40th anniversary. If you listen carefully, you'll catch all the,
All the lyrics.
allusions to the songs in this blurb. Apparently, he told Rolling Stone this could be the group's last tour. So catch them when you have the opportunity for that last dance with Mary Jane. And one more time to kill the pain.
Have you ever seen Tom Petty?
No.
Yeah, me either.
I really would like to. I mean, that's kind of like
It would be a good one. I mean,
such a good
he's
one.
kind of a legend. He's been around forever.
like-
he also, by the way, is in that documentary I was talking about.
Oh,
because
really?
same record label.
He's like someone that I never think about, but then when I do think about it, I realize how many of his songs are great, and I love them.
Molly says it's a great ice cream. Sounds really great right now. Thank you, Molly. We agree. Let's go get some. All right. So we are about to sign off this week's version of Jay Moore's Weekend Agenda. But before we do, we should probably mention one other thing going around town this week.
Yeah, it's not an event per se, but it is a big deal. The NAACP National Convention is at the Baltimore Convention Center. It runs tomorrow through Wednesday, and this is the first time it's been in Baltimore since 2000, even though the organization's headquarters are right here. Speakers include former U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder, Senator Cory Booker,
Who I'm waiting to vote for president.
I could vote
He
for
has
him
my
too.
next vote.
Yeah, Senator Bernie Sanders, Maryland politicians such as Senator Ben Cardin, Senator Chris Van Hollen, Congressman Elijah Cummings, and Baltimore Mayor Catherine Pugh.
Awesome. That is an amazing lineup, and it's a really important event. So that with that and Artscape, there's two really major events going on around town this week, and both have a pretty significant economic and tourism impact on our city.
Yeah.
So Baltimore, let's show the rest of the country what we're made of and be really awesome all week. You have been watching Jay Moore's Weekend Agenda, sponsored by University of Maryland, Baltimore. Please also tune in to Jay Moore's Need to Know on Tuesdays at 12:30, where you can join the conversation about the week's biggest news stories. Thank you for sharing your weekend agenda with us. Thanks to University of Maryland, Baltimore for sponsoring our Facebook Live event. Join us Fridays at 12:30 for more weekend plans. And in the meantime, check out our events calendar at jmoreliving.com/events. Follow us at #JayMoreWeekend and have a great weekend and an amazing Artscape. Stay cool.
Yeah.